I'm going to get to have the opportunity this morning to show you some of our incredible new features that we've rolled out, one of which is talking about stems. So as many of you know, and I'm sure as many of you are so painfully aware because it's a part of your everyday life, stems have become a big thing. Not only now can you have those recorded and kind of keep them in your back pocket in case you need them in the future, but also a lot of companies are allowing you to upload stems and sell stems so that people can either use them for live performances or that they can use them for remixes oftentimes. So we have started to create an option for you guys to upload stems in a new way. So let me share my screen and we will get going. Great. So this is just one of our staging environments, but what we can do now is we can go into this catalog dropdown and go down to sessions. Sessions is kind of a dual purpose option for everyone. So not only are we able to create a session that allows you to track all of the tracks maybe or recordings from one session that an artist might have. Let's say, you have your artist that's in the studio and they're able to provide you some of those specific recordings that are originally tracked, but also you can use this for stems. So I've taken the opportunity to create a new stem session. So here's what it looks like, right? I just went into the catalog dropdown, went to sessions, and then found the session I was looking for. You can always create just about anything here in this create new dropdown, which is everywhere you go on that left-hand side. But to create a new one, it would be in the sessions category. For sessions, we have some basic core details that are captured on the session level. So you can put it your studio information, recording location, track type, all of your contributors, a label that it's associated with, a start and end date, as well as any notes that you have. So maybe if you have multiple contributors or a full band in the studio, you can put all of those contributors here. Maybe you want to add your production staff, then you can add that in here as well. So this will look familiar to anyone who has played around with sessions, but this is where it starts getting exciting. We've now added the option to add audio files to every single one of these associated recordings. So what I've done is I've created six associated recordings. And you can notice all of them have this same ISRC and this same duration. And that's because I've set these up as stems. So we have bass guitar, keys, acoustic guitar, drums, electric guitar, and main vocals. So a very basic song recording. But let's go into this first one. Let's go into acoustic guitar. So in this recording record, I've got all of my audio specs. I've got my bit depth, sample rate, stereo channels, all my recording details, the recording date and mix date. I could add the studio. And then here's that ISRC that I was mentioning that's going to come back in just a second. If you have an ISAN, then you can assign that there. Any genre information and duration. And again, here's that contributors. So I just put, here's the band that we were working with that was recording, and here's the person who played acoustic on this track. So Andrew skillfully played acoustic on this awesome song that will be great coming out. But if you have any archival metadata, you can add that here. So if you have a date that it was archived for your team or a format, any location information, whether it be like a Dropbox or something along that line, you can add that there. Along with, again, any notes and comments. We want you guys to be able to specifically add any information that you may need to capture in every one of these recordings. So we've got that. Now we get to look at the awesome audio. So we have associated an audio file with this. So this gives you the option to not only do a recording that may have been in the studio like we talked about earlier, or you can do it as stems as this is set up. So the cool thing about this is that we also have gone back, and as I mentioned, the ISRC, we've gone and we've actually associated this with the original track. So this track, West With You, is not only a session in the form of stems, but it's also a track within our tenant. So what I've done is I've actually created, we have West With You, the song, right? We've got our ISRC, all of our primary contributions, all of our cello, piano, vocal people playing on it, our associated work and release. But on top of that, we also have all of our stems right over here. So now instead of just being able to get that one track into OpenPlay, we now have both the stems living in the same place as well as the track. And the great part is, you can go in and absolutely download each and every one of these individually. Let's say if you need to share it outside of OpenPlay and you need to upload it to a partner that can use those stems. But you can also, just like with everywhere else in OpenPlay, you can download all of these right here from this audio tab for all of the associated recordings. So it gives you a lot more leeway and makes everything a little bit quicker, which is what we like. So that's the basis of stems. A lot of you have asked for this for a long time, and we're excited to still continue to roll out some new features associated with it, but this is our first step. The great part about it is you can also associate it to a project. So if you had, let's say, a project for this release that we were looking at just a second ago, Wes, with you, here's that associated release right here. We would be able to associate not only all of the releases, whether it be in this case like an album or an EP or a track, you can associate all of those to a project along with your session. So all of those will fall in the same place when those are associated that way. Keeping everything together nicely is what we like to do. So that is stems. We're really excited about this, and we think it's going to be very useful for a lot of our teams. We already know that a handful of our teams are using this with great success and are able to really clean up their workflow. I know a lot of you are probably using Box and Dropbox and other solutions to keep all those stems, all in one place. But hopefully this will create a more simple workflow for all of your teams to be able to store these, along with to be able to share these out to client partners. So we're super excited about this.